guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite internet girl here again, back again with another video. And today's video, guys, I'm going to talk about something. It's been bothering me and I decided to just talk about it so that we'll get that out of the way. And I know I'll be helping someone, especially comments I always get when I put up my pattern drafting tutorials, when I put up my corset drafting tutorials, you know, when I put up like the easiest corset pattern let me bite my tongue. When I put up my tutorials like easy pattern drafting tutorials for corset, beginner friendly pattern drafting tutorials for corset, and it's not like I'm trying to brag, guys. I try to make my tutorials very like as simplified as possible so that a beginner can understand. But anytime I put up those tutorials, sometimes I get maybe one comment where someone is like, oh, how did you know those lines you drew? Okay, I'm trying to, you know, reiterate those questions when they're like, oh, those lines you drew, the lines they're referring to is my bust point, my under bust point, my nipple point. Those are the lines they're referring to. They're like, oh, how did you know where to put those lines? Or how did you know the distance between your shoulder to your nipple point or your shoulder to your under bust point? Why did you take your dart at 4 inches? Why did you take your nipple to nipple maybe at 5 inches, depending on the bust of the person I was drafting for? And I just realized that a lot of people don't understand corset patterns. You know, they don't understand corset pattern drafting videos, or they don't understand how to create a corset or how to cut a corset, simply because they don't understand the basics of sewing, the basic foundation of, you know, drafting a basic bodice. They don't understand that it is their standard measurements. For example, my shoulder to bust point, the standard vertical measurement is 8 inches. So if I want to get my bust point when I'm drafting my basic body block, okay, it is 8 inches. If you don't understand basic foundational sewing techniques, sewing measurements, you will find corset drafting difficult. Why? Because corset drafting, corset making, corset creation, corset tutorial, corset everything is for advanced. And the only way someone can understand corset making, pattern drafting for corset is when you've understood the basic foundation of sewing, the basic foundation of drafting a basic bodice, a basic shirt. You know, you even know how to draft a basic bustier, because a corset is just a bustier they've inserted a cup into. Okay, they've inserted a cup, they've carved out a cup from a bustier. That is a corset. So if you don't understand basic sewing foundations, like, okay, how to take the measurement of your shoulder to nipple point, how to take measurement of shoulder to under bust point, how to take your nipple to nipple measurement, how to take your bust measurement. You know, you don't know standard measurements like, okay, from my waist to my hip point is 8 inches, that's vertical measurement. You will find some tutorials confusing. So if you're here and you've watched a lot of corset tutorials and you just don't understand, I would advise you to take basic beginner courses, you know, so you understand how those lines come about, you know, you understand how to take basic body measurement, you understand how to interpret it in your pattern, you understand how to, you know, put it on your pattern, how to take measurement, how to divide, how to do all those things. It will make pattern drafting, especially for corset, very easy for you. So one reason why you don't understand corset tutorials is because you are a beginner, number one. Number two, you don't understand the basics of sewing, the basic foundation of sewing. You've not understudied it, if there's a word like that. That's one reason. Another reason why you don't understand corset tutorials is because you don't patiently watch the tutorials over and over again. I've said this on my channel. I say a lot of people breeze over tutorials. They fast forward tutorials. I'm not saying you must watch every second, but sometimes when you fast forward, you miss the main point. Okay, you miss the main point. Some people are too in a hurry that they don't. Sometimes there are times, okay, I told you guys that my mom is a tailor. There are times that the first time maybe she's cutting something or she's drafting something, I don't understand. But when I sit down and watch her the first time do it, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, or more, I will understand. So that somebody put up a tutorial on YouTube, it is there for you to go back over and over again. You might watch something, even as I am now, sometimes maybe I'm a little confused with a particular pattern I want to draft or something I want to do. I go on YouTube, watch my colleagues. Okay, this is how they did it. Even if I don't understand, I practice. Even if I practice, And if I'm still not understanding, I go back to the tutorial and watch it over and over again. That point I did not get, I will go back, rewind, watch it. Sometimes if I watch it again, I don't get it, I will pause it, try to sketch the one, try to follow them step by step on my paper. When I get to that point, I'll say, oh, this is what they did here. Or I listen to what they are saying. So one of the reasons why you don't understand corset tutorials is you've watched it maybe one time. You've not taken time to watch it 2 or 3 times. See, you guys know that there are some movies you watch. The first time you watch it, you get maybe a surface understanding of the movie. By the time you watch it the second time, you'll be like, oh, wow, this is what they meant. See, guys, I watched Black Panther. I know this is a little off topic. I watched Black Panther, and that guy Okoye, I didn't understand why he just, turned his back on the Black Panther, and he trying to kind of sold him out to the traitor. But when I watched the third time, I realized that because his parents were killed, and he had not seemingly gotten justice for that. When he saw a stranger who could deliver justice for him, that the Black Panther wasn't doing that, he just opted for that option. So sometimes when you watch a tutorial, the first time you might not understand. Like in the case of Black Panther, I watched that movie like 2 times. It was like the 3rd or 4th time I now really understood that, oh, this is why this guy did this thing, okay? Now, sometimes when you watch some tutorials, the first time you might not really understand, but by the time you calm down, watch it over and over again. I'll suggest maybe the second time watching it, watch it at night when you're not in a hurry, okay? By the time you watch it over and over again, you'll be like, oh wow, this was what was done here. This was how it was manipulated. This was what was drafted. This is why this person did this. So guys, take time to watch your tutorials over and over and over again. That way you would understand. But when you watch it once and you don't understand, don't give up. Sometimes most people are not too patient. They just come to their comment section, this thing is rubbish, I don't understand. Relax. Is enough. Relax. Another reason why you don't understand corset tutorials or some pattern drafting tutorials is because you don't know how to draft a basic bustier. Maybe you know how to draft a basic bustier, but you are doing it in a very in your mind, you know that way is not the pure way, but you're just doing it anyhow. Let us go to the final destination. And by the time you learn how to draft a basic bustier anyhow, when you come to corset, it will just expose you. So something you must know is a corset, like I earlier mentioned, a corset is just a bustier that a cup was carved into, okay? It was highlighted to, accentuate the boobs. So if you understand how to draft a basic bustier, drafting a corset will not be difficult for you. So when you already understand this in your head, like, okay, a corset is just a bustier that a cup was inserted into to accentuate the boobs. When you understand that, it will already guide you to understanding a corset. Do you guys understand me? So if you are finding drafting a basic a corset difficult, draft a basic bustier down, then watch the tutorial on how to draft a corset. Then try to, when they start drafting in the cup, just try to insert it into the bustier, and you will see that drafting a corset is very, very, very easy. Trust me, guys. This is one way that helped me understand drafting a corset, because the first time I saw a corset, I'm like, oh, what's this one now? But by the time I sat down and watched a tutorial, I'm like, this is just a bustier that a corset was attached, that a cup was attached into. And I practiced over and over again, and I dropped a tutorial for you guys, and you guys are like, oh, this is like the easiest tutorials you guys have found. So guys, just understand that this is a simple rule of a corset. A corset is just a bustier that a cup was inserted into. So if you're having issues with drafting a corset, first of all, try and draft a bustier, then see how to insert a cup into the bustier with the tutorial you are watching online. Now, one thing I will always advise, if you're having issues with understanding, drafting a corset, drafting a pattern, there are different ways to draft a corset pattern. I think I have about 3 up on this channel at this point, or 2. I think I'm going to release about 2 more, okay, so that we don't have repetitive content here on this channel. One thing I will advise is you practice, okay? Get your pattern papers. Let me not bite my tongue. If you feel you're wasting pattern papers, stick your newspapers together, and try to work with that. Use your old calendars. Just practice, and trust me, you will get it right. So when you practice with your pattern paper, your calendar, your newspaper, maybe get a cheap fabric so you don't waste your expensive fabric to cut the pattern on, try it out, test it. If it doesn't fit well, guys, do it over and over again. If I show you guys the first corset I tried to sew, you people will laugh at me. You will laugh at me. So this is something I want you guys to know, that sometimes something you find difficult might just be very easy. Just put your mind to it, practice over and over again, watch his tutorials, calm down, understand the basic foundation of drafting, whatever you want to do, and trust me guys, you would understand corset making, corset pattern drafting. It will be like piece of cake to you. Okay, so guys, I just decided to put this video out there for people that find it a little confusing, so that you will know that, okay, it's not like I see these questions and I ignore them. It really, as in fact the last one I got, it really touched me. I'm like, this person really doesn't understand, and I need to explain to her why she doesn't understand. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We're in Vlogmas Day what. You guys, please just make sure you check my other videos. I have lots of juicy content here on the channel for Vlogmas, so make sure you check my other videos and come back tomorrow for another video. I'll see you in my next, which is tomorrow, or any other video. Bye guys.